I want to thank the chairman for convening this hearing on a very important topic. We frequently talk here about the many systems that are part of the infrastructure of DHS, and today we're going to be talking about one that is critical and on which myself and the chairman wrote a letter last month expressing our concerns about where we are. Technology, infrastructure, and personnel are obviously three key elements in securing our borders and ensuring the safe and legal entry of people and goods into the United States. I can tell you from my perspective as one of 9 members of a Southwest border district that we have significant problems in processing, expediting people coming into the country, particularly at our ports of entry in Nogales, which is in the neighboring district, in my own district, the Douglas Port of Entry, partly due to the lack of numbers of customs agents, but also, I believe, due to the cumbersome nature of the technology that is used by our personnel in DHS to process people into the country. Employees from U.S. Customs and Border Protection and ICE utilize, as you know, many different technology, types of technology to carry out their mission. One of the largest IT systems currently in use is TEX, which is primarily a border enforcement system supporting the screening of travelers entering the United States. And as you also know, the use of TEX goes well beyond CBP and ICE. It's currently used by over 20 federal agencies, resulting in over 70,000 users conducting more than 2,000 transactions each and every day. According to CBP, which maintains TEX, it is the largest and most important law enforcement system currently in use by the federal, state, and local law enforcement agents. And it informs, supports, I should say, law enforcement lookouts, border screening, reporting for CBP, primary and secondary inspection processes, money laundering tracking and reporting, telephone and data analysis, and intelligence reporting and dissemination. In sum, TEX is a vital asset to Homeland Security. However, TEX is a legacy system that has been plagued with problems based upon both the age of the system and the outdated, and I would say obsolete, technology. As a result, the Department of Homeland Security is in the process of modernizing this 34-year-old border security tool through a multi-billion-dollar project known as TEX-Mod. And given the importance of TEX and its widespread use throughout the law enforcement community at every level, I support the modernization and look forward to the day when it can actually be used with speed, efficiency, and reduced likelihood of false positives, which are also frequent. Unfortunately, 4 years after beginning the TEX-Mod, ICE is not much closer, I should say, to developing a solution than it was on day one. Not only that, but CBP is still unable to determine its cost or schedule with sufficient detail. And furthermore, DHS's management of this project and the lack of stated requirements have led to the waste of millions of dollars of scarce Homeland Security funds. Not very good stewardship of the taxpayers' money. This concerns me because as ranking member of this subcommittee, it's my responsibility, as it is all of our responsibilities, to ensure that the department is spending taxpayer dollar efficiently and that its programs are actually doing what they were supposed to do and are keeping Southern Arizonans and all Americans safe. Ultimately, the Department of Homeland Security is at risk of spending an additional $45 to $60 million per year to maintain the aging system due to its outdated technology and exorbitant maintenance costs. CPB is the nation's largest law enforcement entity, and its thousands of law enforcement officials or agents across the United States rely on this system. And yet they rely on it in order to get their jobs done and keep us safe from harm, and it just doesn't work very well. Our Border Patrol agents and customs officers and our other border security officials in the field are doing their part every single day to keep our country safe and secure. And we owe it to these frontline personnel to provide them with the technological tools they need to carry out their mission. At present, TEX-Mod is being managed under the direction of 2 separate program offices within DHS, ICE, and CBP. And although we've been advised that these offices coordinate and the initial decision may have been made sense on paper to divide the mission, I am very concerned that this decision has and will result in duplication, unnecessary costs, and uneven results, which ultimately affect the end user. When you put two separate components in charge of the same program, it's difficult to determine who should be held accountable. When more than one person is in charge, then essentially no one's in charge. This could lead to jurisdiction conflict or worse, the inability to track accountability. According to the GAO, the schedule and cost for both programs are still unclear, making it much more difficult for those who rely on techs to do their jobs. CBP states that the project will be completed in 2015, but the GAO reports it's cast doubt on that as a possibility. ICE cannot determine the date because it has halted all work on techs until an independent contractor can determine the life cycle costs and the necessary requirements. As a result, the 2015 completion date is in serious doubt. In sum, Mr. Chairman, the Department has work to do to turn this effort around and put it on the right track. And I look forward to hearing both from CBP and ICE on how they plan to move TextMod forward effectively and efficiently, including how they will define key requirements and identify and manage risks and accurately estimate the completion date for full modernization. This is essential to our nation and to the mission of the Department. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.